our dwindling bank account. All that and more today on the Labatt's Blue Win Place Show. Featuring the best of the Labatt's Blue Ontario Sire Stakes.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Win Place Show. This week, we are in Ottawa at Retrotv Raceway, and I am your host, Marty Adams. That is right, your host this week. You'll notice that I haven't been picking very well in the last few weeks, and Earl's been telling me what to bet, and of course, what I've been picking hasn't come in, and what he's been telling me what to bet has been coming in. So, this week, I went to the producer, and I said, Mr. Producer, what I think you should do is maybe you should have Earl do the picking this week, and you should maybe let me do the hosting. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the star of the Win Play Show, Mr. Earl Lennox.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Marty, most especially, I want to thank you.
Okay, Earl. This week, you are going to try and pick a winner. Is that right?
No, Marty, last week you tried to pick a winner. This week I am going to pick two winners. I'm going to pick the winner of the first race and make a significant bet on him, and then all the money that I won on the first race, I'm going to bet back on the winner of the second division. You know, it's called a parlay.
A parlay. That's the key here. A parlay, when you bet all your money on one horse, and whatever you get back on that horse, you put on a second horse. That is called a parlay. And that's what you're going to do, Mr. Big Shot?
That's what I'm going to do. We've got 2-year-old trotting colts and geldings tonight at Ottawa. There are 4 standouts in the 2 divisions. Cosmic Thunder, who finished second at Hanover, and the 3 division winners, Norwell Nighthawk, Chantalon Celtic, and the fastest of the 3, A Worthy Lad.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. And now it's time to check in with Mr. Bill and to see what you can win in the Horsepower Sweepstakes.
It's a new car, a brand new 1989 Suzuki Sidekick. That's right, at each and every Labatt's Blue Ontario Sire Stakes event from now until the end of August, some lucky fan will win a chance to drive home in this beautiful Suzuki Sidekick. And you could also win a new horse. That's right, on August 28th at Greenwood Raceway, some LBOSS fan will walk off with up to $35,000 towards the purchase and training of your own horse. That's the Horsepower Sweepstakes only at the Labatt's Blue Ontario Sire Stakes.
Marty, you know, it makes me think that I should quit the show so I can make myself eligible to win the car.
I wish you would, Earl. But with his luck, he'd probably win. Now, I want you to know that I came to Ottawa this week looking for a Canadian flag. I ended up finding a beaver tail. That's a donut, you know, here in Ottawa. Well, when it comes to harness racing, one of the names that comes to the fore, Dr. Rolly Armitage. Now, a look at Dr. Armitage and Ottawa.
Ottawa, the place to spend the Canada Day weekend. In 1857, Queen Victoria chose Ottawa, formerly Bytown, to be the permanent capital of the province of Canada. The little wilderness community had a number of advantages. It was centrally located and politically acceptable to both the east and west. It was also reassuringly remote from the then hostile United States. The pioneer character of the new capital changed slowly but spectacularly through the construction of the Parliament building to complement the already completed Rideau Canal. It was not until the turn of the century that Sir Wilfrid Laurier, Prime Minister from 1896, began to dream of creating a grander capital, a Washington of the North. His vision, and that of a successor, Mackenzie King, followed by a century of planning and painstaking work, have given us the beautiful capital of today. And it's only fitting that Rideau Carleton Raceway opens its doors on July the 1st. Track manager Rolly Armitage has been running the place since 1980 and may be responsible for rescuing the track from the brink of financial disaster. But he certainly is well qualified and draws on a lifetime of experience.
My recollection is when I was on the farm at Dunrobin going with my father to the used to race on Sunday on the ice. We used to go up to Quillon, Quebec, and had, I believe it was quarter-mile straightaways, and we'd race 3 or 4, maybe 5 times, I remember. You'd race, and then whoever won the other heats, they'd get together, and then after it's all over, I recall the post party was to go to the hotel, and you park the horse in the shed, and as I recall, someone was damn cold. He used to have gum rubber boots, and they'd freeze, and the only place you get warm is get under the horse blanket while your dad was in the bar. And sometimes they forgot about me. And anyways, a long ride home, about 15 miles before we get back home again after having raced the horse 2 or 3. And that same horse we used to go to school with and all those things, the only light horse we had on the farm. We were a big family of 10 kids, and everybody kind of had a job. I used to look after the horses pretty much at the farm, and I enjoyed that. And I went away to the war kind of young, and I come back and went back to school again and went up to Guelph, graduated there in '51, and then went to Shawville, Quebec. At that time, the big lumber camps there, they had some 6 large companies, all had horses in the bush. We had 1,000 horses in the bush, and I looked after them. I used to go every 3 weeks or so to win by Cessna on floats in the summer and skis in the winter so to get around to the camp. Well, Rita Carleton opened here in '62. I had a clinic here then. I had a clinic until 1980 when I came on staff as the general manager. The track was, they were having problems. There was only 2 people in the horse race business. That's the racetrack ownership and the horses, the horse owners, and they weren't getting along very good. And I kind of come on for 1 year to sort of solve the problem. Kind of the horsemen kind of. I guess they respected me and what I might do, and I sort of close the wound, you know, and put a few sutures in, and we got her going. And then I was supposed to stay a year, and then that was 9 years ago. But I found that this was an easier job than the being a veterinarian. So I guess I put the bag away a couple of years ago.
The celebration continues right through the summer and on to the end of November at Rito Carleton. The track designed with the fans and the horsemen in mind.
When you make out your list for the prettiest racetracks in North America, Rito Carleton, located in the Ottawa Valley, has to be right at the top. Well, besides the 2-year-old trotting colts racing here at Rito Carleton, there were 4 other divisions in the Labatt Blue Ontario Sire Stakes. Now here's a look at the results.
Racing on TSN is brought to you by Labatt Blue. It's the way we play.